Look, seems he was some kind of shogunate big shot. No, but look at how he's been killed. Stabbed right in the throat. Izo's handiwork if ever I saw it. His hideout must be close by. I'm sure of it. Probably that abandoned temple. Will you help me put a stop to Izo's madness? Yes, him. Seems he hasn't changed at all. Let's wait until dark. He's sure to come crawling back to his hidey hole then. We're here. Let's look for Izo. Take a look at this. A bullet. I don't know any enemy of the Shogunate who would use a pistol. This has to belong to Izo. I don't think he's here now, but if we wait long enough... I've been thinking for a while about what Master Shoin wanted us to do. Genzui and Izo both claim to have taken on Master Shoin's mantle. But, well, you know how that's turned out. But I haven't taken the same path as them. Why do you think that is? There's some truth to that. Genzui and Izo thought Master Shoin's teachings were all that mattered. But all Master Shoin did was invite people to think for themselves. Those two ended up closing their minds to any other ideas. That's true. Genzui wouldn't listen when Shinsaku tried to warn him. And Izo never had any intention of listening to Katsu. You might be right. When Genzui raised an army in Kyoto, he didn't have Katsura. And Izo, he's always been alone. The true difference is that I've met people worth listening to, who've given me the chance to change and move forward. I'm lucky to have you at Katsu. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. If I hadn't met you in that cave in Yokohama, I might have ended up like Izo. You mean like the Demon Claw Samurai? Is there ever a time they're not on your mind? Anyway, seems like Izo still isn't back. You should grab some sleep. I'll wake you when he comes.
I knew it. If Ryoma came, I knew you'd be with him. The world is supposed to change if I just keep getting. But how much longer? How much more do I have to do this? I wonder, will it make me feel better to rid you? What am I doing? Did I go wrong? If I had someone like you, maybe I could be like Ryoma, too. You truly are strong. At last, my turn has come to be cut down. I'm no different to you, in that we both have killed. When was it that I chose the wrong path? Please, don't let Ryoma be dragged down by dirty work. He is meant for much greater things than merely cutting down foes. More blood will be shed on this land. Keep Ryoma safe with your blade, lest he suffer my fate.
I'm sorry I left you. I wanted to be the one to settle things with Izo. And I really didn't want you to have to dirty your hands. But you had to step in and save the day anyway. come on. He just got one lucky hit in. That's all. Let me bury Izo alone. I think it's what he would have wanted. You should head back first. I think this was the only way things could have ended with Izo. As for the Demon Claw Samurai, who knows? You might still have a chance. Can you settle things with them without drawing blood? Think long and hard about it. For your own sake.
Over here!
Yes. I see you know me well. All right, go ahead. First, I'd like to raise an army from all levels of society, like they've done abroad. Naturally, this army would be trained along Western lines. It would have a navy and an infantry armed with rifles. I'd also like to bring the shogunate more in line with Western forms of governance. Under a modern system, I would be president, and my elder officials, ministers. Of course, all of this will be necessary for us to catch up with the world. We may be called copycats, but we should pay that no mind. I received martial arts training from a young age, and the shuriken was a part of it. To be sure, the shuriken is not quite in keeping with my position, so I take great pleasure in honing my skills in secret. But now I see it as my greatest weapon. I am well capable of using it to drive off my opponents. Save yourself. Very well then. Hey, I was hoping that you might run another errand with me. How about it? Something very important is all I'll say. Don't worry. I've already spoken to Takahashi and the others. I've learned my lesson from last time. If it's all right with you, I'd like to leave immediately. As for our destination, you'll know soon enough. Come along now. I will guide you. This isn't my first time in Kyoto. It brings back memories. This is a nice taste of a normal life.
Hey, you two! Stop right there! And where do you think you're going?
Hello, my good man. We've some business to attend to over there. So if you don't mind.
What? Not so fast. If you want to pass, you'll have to fork out half the money on your person. I can have undesirables like you Ronin arrested in a flash. You know that.
Me? A Ronin? Dear, oh dear. You're right. A lowly guard like that is not likely to have seen my face before.
What are you two mumbling about? I don't have all day. You're with the Shinsengumi? Why didn't you say so sooner? Please, go right ahead.
You took care of it. How troublesome. Shinsengumi would not be best pleased if they knew the Guardians of Kyoto seemed to have lost their way. Not far now. Well, we've arrived.
Hey there. We just opened our doors. What do you say? Feeling lucky?
Of course I did. I told him the Shogun is going gambling. Also, I'm paying, so rest easy. Let's go in.
Down goes the cup.
Folks, come, place your bets. You finished? Then betting is closed. The numbers are 4 and 1 odd. Yes. Next game.
That's the stuff. Now win us a black ship of our own.
Down goes the cup.
Folks, come, place your bets. You finished? Then betting is closed. The numbers are 5 and 1, even.
What rotten rack?
Next game.
I believe we've had enough fun for one day.
Well, well, if it isn't Lord Yoshinobu Tokugawa, the Shogun himself. The Kurosu have a score to settle with you.
I expected as much. Can I count on your blade? When I learned of the growing resistance in Kyoto, I spread word of my visit, figuring it might draw the rebels out. One must deceive one's friends before deceiving one's enemies, as they say. Don't you know that much? That said, I fear I've dragged you into a nasty mess. You hail from Kurosu, do you not? Ah, but that isn't your game. Had it been, you'd have done so at the military academy. In any event, I do apologize, and I thank you for coming along with me. Plus, we had ourselves some fun, did we not? Well, till next time.
Wait.
Well, I never figured I'd face that style again. We have met before, though admittedly, I didn't have a good look at you then. Tell me, how fares your master these days? You could say that. I figured as much. In any event, with a close clan defeated, I must take matters into my own hands. Do not stand in my way again.
Hey, remember that old man who attacked us when we went to expose my corrupt retainers? Well, he's continued his assault against members of the Shogunate. Makes no effort to cover his tracks either. Still, I remain in the dark as to his identity and intentions. I have my ninjas looking into him, but nothing's come up as of yet. Really? I see. So he too hails from Kurosu. He must be involved with those men from the gambling house. Is he familiar to you at all? I see. So the Kurosu clan is trying to settle unfinished business. Know what their goal might be? Ah, yes. The Shogunate. In other words, me. I'm what they're after. I had planned to deal with this by raising an army, but now I'm hoping that, together, we can put an end to it. On the contrary, I believe I will. At first, I thought I could ignore all those who held grudges for past wrongs, at least during this time of great upheaval. But now I see that I was short-sighted, only putting off the inevitable. For the displeasure with the Shogunate, and with me, is real. And though it's my habit to look at only what I want to see, as Shogun, I must learn to face those things which require my attention. In any event, I suspect that old man is hiding out at a shrine in Gion. Well, friend, can I count on your blade once more? I knew I could count on you. May we see this thing through, together. I will guide you. The Kurosu clan had already been crushed by the time I became shogun. But after we met, I decided to look into their history. The Kurosu clan went to great lengths to topple the shogunate. Had I been shogun at the time, I likely would have wiped them out too. But what made them hate the Tokugawa so much in the first place? That enmity passed from one generation to the next, the shogunate making not the slightest effort to make amends. And still, it survives. It's the same with the Choshu, and now they may spark another bloody conflict. Somebody must put a stop to this madness. Well, we've arrived.
The Shogun and his royal dog, the Veiled Edge. My blade. You will make a worthy gift for that! You are indeed worthy of the past. Prepare to witness the true power of the Veiled Edge. At the order of my clan, I faked my death and left my native land. To think that it should end this way. Kaede, it's time. I'm coming now to retake my place as your blade twin forever.
Instead of ruling for the sake of the country, the shogunate has ruled for itself. Therein lies the cause of the Kurosu clan's woes. Who knows? Perhaps the shogunate has outgrown its purpose. But then, who will govern this country in its stead? I realize that I have caused you a great deal of trouble up to now. Thankfully, much of that is finally behind us. I am sorry that I dragged you into this nasty mess. Please accept my sincere gratitude. What? But you are not at all like that old man. You have forged a path of your own choosing. I wonder, what fate is it that awaits this country? Not even I have the power to foresee such things. But I will do everything I can to build a society free from the likes of such men. May neither of us die with any regrets.
Yes? What is it? Kondo invited me to join. Besides, I thought it would give me ample opportunity to see real life or death combat. That's the honest truth. I don't really mind one way or the other what becomes of Japan or the Shogun. Indeed, I do. What greater enjoyment is there to be had? There's no feeling like your heart throbbing in a fiery duel. Both giving their all, knowing what will happen should they fail. Dodging your opponent's blade by a hair's breadth. Bring me along when you face skilled opponents. I won't forgive you for keeping all the fun to yourself. Understood.
Sure, speak your mind. Reflexively drawing one's sword is the preserve of fools. You have to think through the consequences before you make the decision to escalate. You know, I was once enamored of the romantic notion of the samurai, living life by the blade. But that time is past. Somehow I've gone up in the world and have to live by its stuffy rules instead. But you, as a Ronin, you can decide whether or not to draw your sword. I have to admit, I'm a little envious. Who's been spreading rumors about me? Guess I can't hide anything from you. While I love to watch boats go by, being aboard one, bobbing about in the water, that's a whole different matter. When we fought on that boat, I honestly felt so sick I thought I was going to give up the ghost there and then. But you wouldn't have known it to look at me, would you? I'm an Edo boy, through and through. We can grin and bear anything. Why, it's gotta be grilled eel. That tantalizing aroma, the sweetness of the rich glaze. It's the quintessential Edo dish. Other than that, I can't resist a sweet treat. Like dumplings filled with sweet bean paste and mochi. Oh, but I truly love foreign confections. I don't have them too often, but I tell you, they taste simply out of this world. You know what I thought when I first tried them?
We need to whip Japan into shape if we want to measure up to the countries who make those things. And that's when I knew I had to reform the shogunate. Just kidding. If you say so.
What the hell happened here? Looks like these men were still breathing pretty recently. This doesn't bode well for Katsura. We need to find him now. Right. I'll start over there. So much of the town has been burned down. So many homes. We're meant to be fighting for a better country, but this is anything but.
Found you at last.
Say your prayers!
Don't summon. Let's even things up, shall we?
My thanks for your kindness.
That takes care of that. Now then, let's ask our friend here what that was about.
Thank the stars. Glad it was you two who showed up.
Katsura, I had a feeling that was you. What are you doing in that getup? The Choshu men feared the worst.
I've been looking into the Shogunate's next moves, but I've let down my comrades by not being able to fight with them. Genzui especially. It wasn't for nothing though. I got my hands on some vital information. The Shogunate are going to send in a force to deal with the Choshu soon.
The Shogunate is making a move. They're seizing their chance to take the Choshu out once and for all.
Indeed. And they're expecting the Satsuma to provide the best part of the force.
Them again? But weren't they planning to revolt against the government?
Well, the Satsuma are making a show of compliance to the Shogunate, which will spell the end of the Choshu. Any bright ideas?
You know, I've always wondered why the Choshu and Satsuma don't just make an alliance. You're the only ones with enough power to bring about change in this country. If you joined forces, you'd be unstoppable.
You're not wrong. It would be incredible. Could it be done? But the Satsuma and Choshu are sworn enemies. We cannot simply form an alliance.
That's right. While the Satsuma and Choshu fight, the West eats our country alive. Is that really what you want?
I see what you're saying. Then we should ride to Kyomizadera Temple. Takamori Saiko of the Satsuma should be there at present, as far as I'm aware. He's the commander of the Satsuma forces right now. If we can persuade him, this plan might have legs. Let's meet at Kyomizadera Temple! Could I leave it to you two to broach the subject? I doubt he'll be in the mood to listen if an enemy like me shows up out of nowhere.
No problem. We'll handle this. So, Saigo's in this temple, right?
Ah, that's right. The former chief priest of this place, Gesho, was said to be close with Saigo, and I hear today is the anniversary of his death. I was told by a geisha who was clients from Satsuma. Apparently, he met his end during the Ansai Purge, where he and Saiga were persecuted. It won't be easy. But as long as you're sincere and make him understand that it's all in the best interest of the country, he'll come around.
Okay. Time to head inside. We'll get kicked out if we just rush in. Better to wait for the right moment. The grounds are pretty big, so we should prioritize locating Saigo.
Let's be off then.
I'm ready for action. That was smooth.
If you're after Saigo, he's at the Jojuin Temple.
Ready and ready!
To ruffians!
I'll teach you a lesson!
That was smooth.
I challenge you, ruffians!
Watch out!
Very nice.
Very nice. Challenge,
That was smooth.
here they come! Ruffians!
That was smooth.
So, you've been ordered to lead the expedition against Choshu. What do you intend to do, Saiko? What would Gesho advise, I wonder? Well, I'll leave you to ponder it. Some solitude may bring you clarity.
How dare anyone threaten me on this most sacred day?
Please wait! We just want to talk. Just fight.
Take more than that to make me yield. It seems you're no ordinary foes. I would live for the both of us. I won't die here so easily. Crossing blades with someone with no intention to kill is pointless. You said you would like to speak to me. The Satsuma never chose to begin this fight. That decision was the Shogunate's.
Forget the Shogunate. I want to speak to you, not them.
It was the Choshu who drew their swords first. And considering their behavior in Kyoto, how can we leave them be?
Look, I understand Satsuma's perspective. But have you thought about our future?
What do you mean? Change this country? What are you saying?
Saigo, deep down, I know you agree with me. There are things Satsuma can only accomplish with Choshu by its side.
You want us to march alongside our sworn enemies? I simply cannot see it.
And yet, it can be so. If we should will it. But first, I should apologize. I am sorry. I could not stop the conflict earlier.
Katsura of the Choshu? What are you wearing?
Oh, ignore these filthy rags. I assure you, my aspirations remain unsullied. As my associates have said, we must put aside our differences, even if it means moving heaven and earth. We must transform Japan.
Katsura, I hear you. I accept your proposal. Gesho, too, would have been glad to put an end to the bloodshed.
Then it's settled. The Choshu and Satsuma will join forces, and we shall be the ones to see it through. You know, I've heard that in the West you're meant to hold hands and shake them on occasions like this. Go on. Try it.
Saigo, I look forward to working with you.
The pleasure is mine.
Takamori Saigo, swayed by Ryoma, defies the Shogun's orders and calls off the Satsuma assault on the Choshu. This episode helps the Satsuma and Choshu draw closer, and they conclude an alliance aimed at overthrowing the Shogunate.